So the masked stranger isn't your run-of-the-mill nutter. On a visit to Sacred Heart, you discovered your mother's maiden name, Hathaway, and confirmed that she's being held at Benthal House, a hospital for the mentally infirm. And a chinwag with Clementine gave you a lead on accessing Benthal. When you reluctantly raise your eyelids against the leaden light of another day, you find your gaze resting upon a lump of spent candles. The formless wax tendrils, a testament to long nights gone by. You took your rest in a four-poster, and the heavy blankets grab you like strong but gentle hands, insisting you return to sleep. The room is warm and musty but nicely decorated, with heavy drapery on all sides and beveled glass in the window to block any prying eyes. Oh, beveled glass. To block any prying eyes from the street below. Whatever transpired between you and Miss Reed has faded to little more than a dim dream, but your performance at the gaming table returns with crystalline clarity. What a banger that was! Your spirits rise, and you abruptly sit up only to find the bells of St. Clement's thundering inside your skull. But the promise of fat pockets and easy living, at least for a while, tempers the punishing hangover. With renewed purpose, you rise slowly to your feet. Well, that's going to be a disappointment. Awaken now, awake! A new day calls, and you must answer, however much it chafes you. If you continue on this road of drinking and dice, well, you've seen where it ends. What in the blazes is that infernal racket? Sounds like someone dragging an anvil across a brick road. No, it's nothing, just my hangover. But then again, didn't I hear screams in the night, or was it a nightmare? Self-discipline, the kettle drum in my head feels like the result of a pint of absinthe. I thought I gave it up ages ago. There's a putty in my mouth like I was chewing on a juniper branch. But was it only the gin I was tipping back? I'll go with self-discipline. No telling what mix of alcoholic concoctions went down my gullet, but at least I'm alive. Anyway, my luck has finally changed. Thanks to my brilliant turn at the tables last night, I can at last square my debts with Molly. No, what's this cursed nonsense? Where are my blasted winnings? Another dawn, another disappointment. I was robbed in the night. I'll hunt them down if I must, confident no one steals from Atticus Daily. Such are the vicissitudes of this low life. No one steals from Atticus Daily. Oh, that gives hope, okay. But I'd better clear my head before I try to recover my wealth. Hark, is that a rumble in the pipes or that scraping noise again? This time of day, the Velvet Rose should be quiet as church. Sounds like, and it's coming from the next room. Perhaps the thief is still on the premises. I should investigate. Okay. Next room. Whoop, the camera is a bit weird in this place sometimes. Oh, bugger all. There's a sight to blast even my jaded senses. The hump of a cadaver in a sprawling pool of blood. For one juddering instant I fear that the body is Clara Reed, but no, it is someone else, and she's bathed in red, a darker red than the floor and walls. That creeping murderer who's been at large in London must have struck again, just a few steps from where I was sleeping. There is an unmistakable scent of bergamot in the air, and the furniture is in disarray. That explains that scraping noise I heard earlier. Marks on the floor. The chiffonier. A cupboard or set of drawers was dragged across the floor to where it stands. That explains the scraping around, the scraping sound which woke me before. There's the body. It can't be. Ariana, her lifeless body lying in a pool of blood. Blast it all. I could crush the skull of whoever was responsible. But nothing can be done at the moment. It feels like a lifetime ago, but we were together once. Did she bring out the best in me? At the very least, I swilled and gambled less when she was around. But I ruined things between us, and now she's dead. Bloody crow! If only I were if only I were a trained detective, then I'd sure get to the bottom of this terrible business with alacrity. I'll do what I can, but I can't be sure I'm the hero of this particular tragedy. This is all too much. I need to leave this place. Let's take a look at the open window, though. Two lofty stories from here to the hard cobbles below. Could it have been a cat burglar? Or perhaps something with a natural climbing ability. Okay. Puzzle out the crime scene. Okay. Please, wit, not the minus 100. 11. That's better. Taking the whole scene into account, it strikes me that a few items were knocked over as if the result of a struggle. And the chiffonier was dragged from its usual place. Could the room's disarray have been staged for some reason? Okay. Interesting. There's Athena. This is Athena, who supposedly jumped fully grown and ready for combat from Zeus's skull. That's a woman I would like to know. Madame Sora. You! What are you doing slinking around up here? If we just report the crime, that would be, I don't know, that could be sketchy. But also it's probably an option that only shows up if we actually do that, till we were robbed. You have undoubtedly heard about the courtesan killer. I'm sorry to report that he struck again, there in the room at the top of the stairs. What are you trying to say? There's a girl lying dead upstairs, and judging by the scene, it looks like the work of the courtesan killer. Open your ears, woman. There's a corpse upstairs, and it looks like what's left over after a day of making sausage at the slaughterhouse. I'm not going to say that. That's horrible. Let's go with the first one. Saints above. This is troubling. Troubling indeed. When word gets out, we could be ruined. I will let the girls know. We'll have to close our doors. Do you know anything that might point to the killer? I believe I do, in fact, and I'll tell you for nothing. It's a werewolf or some other deviant behind all this. It's a werewolf or some other deviant behind all this carnage. What else could it be? Do explain. You've seen the newspaper reports, no doubt, and now you've seen it with your own eyes. What sort of creature could do such a thing? Self-discipline, but those with lycanthropy are only dangerous during the full moon. Or animal instincts. They are vicious brutes, certainly, but you see, madam, the full moon is not till tonight, but those with lycanthropy are only dangerous during the full moon. Perhaps, but a partial transformation is not unheard of, or even full changes in the immediate days that follow and precede the full moon. The madam certainly seems to know more about the matter than me. Regardless, with the trauma induced by each transformation, one's noble restraint gets gradually looser. The body upstairs was certainly torn to shreds, as if the poor dolly was clawed to death. I guess we'll bring it up. I have to tell you, I've been robbed right here in your fine establishment. Last night I was flush with capital, but I woke up a pauper. I don't know anything about that, except that it was probably the dolly you were with who robbed you. Anyway, what kind of dullard falls asleep in a bordello? Perhaps I shouldn't have trusted Miss Reed, but I was overcome with such fatigue that I couldn't help but fall asleep. Let's take note of her scattered attention. Excuse me, but are you muttering under your breath? I haven't the slightest. What was that? Are you tallying up sums in your head right now? A woman was slaughtered not 20 yards from where we're standing, and not long ago either. Well, didn't you wake up high and mighty this morning? I am running a business here, sir. And who are you? Just another John wandered in off the streets. This is a job, and my girls rely upon it to pay their way. Perhaps so, even though it still seems unduly callous to me. Step away. And now I must tend to my own troubles, madam. I leave this shambles in your capable hands. Run along, bullman. Whatever business you had here is finished. Task updated. Let's take a look. The courtesan killer. Where is it? There is it. There it is. Sora, was decidedly unhelpful. I need to find someone who witnessed one of the killings. That's just the collection thing. No, that's the betting thing. We can do that. That's just finding Jin. Leo's Lament. Eli told me that Father Franco had seriously shady dealings under the sect called the Sons of Caruso, but Franco disappeared one day. I should find someone who knows about the hidden dealings of London. Okay. Missing orphans. Annika told me Molly and the Dockhounds were involved in her friend's disappearance. Time to get some answers. Find out who kidnapped the orphans. All signs point to a kidnapping. Something tells me the Dockhounds are involved. Although I despise Molly, she'd be the source to question about this. Okay. The old crone is just passive. Pay off the rent. We'll see about that. Reconcile your past. Clem said she would help, but I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Same place at the Palladium bar, where I usually find her. Okay, is that the thing that precedes, like that drives along the story? Because if that's the case, then I'll wait with that. But I guess we'll see. In but a few short hours, your sleeping form has been looted by some cowardly crook, and you've suffered a sight like to make your eyes start out of your head. Right? Okay. When you get startled, Okay, I got it. That confused me for a second. It sickens you to think such butchery happened only a few yards from where you slept. If only you had heard something, anything, perhaps you could have intervened. And here is the Palladium. Normally you would wash away your problems with a stiff drink, but the mere thought set your stomach to churning. In truth, you've never felt less like entering a bar room. I suppose Clem would probably end the chapter. Hopefully it warns me. If not, I just saved. I could just reload. Atticus, look at the state of you. Bit less of the old bonhomie, I don't know, than I hoped for. Ask about Penny, report the murder, tell her about being robbed. Let's report the murder first. There's been a murder upstairs and the body is a pile of bloody carpet rags. Might be the handiwork of the courtesan killer, so-called. I thought you should know. That got her rattled. Don't know I've ever seen Clem that way. Upstairs? Right under our very noses? Who was it, Atticus? Ariana. No, that sweet girl. Say it ain't so. I'm afraid it is, Clem. I know her too. No one likes to be the bearer of bad news, but it's clear Ariana was well liked at the Rose. Blast! All I got to say is that loon better steer clear of Clementine. He tries something like this again, I'll stick a shiv so far up his guts he can pick his teeth with it. Ha, I like that. Let's ask about Penny. About good old Penny. Didn't you say she was coming round? Penny couldn't make it, but I did hear from her. She said that her boss, Dr. Clancy Wainwright, knows more about the patients at Benthel House. Names and identity and such. That's the man you want, but she wasn't sure where to find him on his day off. Just what I need, more hoofing it around town. She said you might check at Nandy's shop in Sorry Square. Apparently Dr. Wainwright's been consulting Nandy for a secret project. Thanks for that. Much obliged. One other thing. Listen, mate, I hate to kick a Minotaur when he's down, but you've got to be on your way. Give a sarcastic reply. Assure her you can handle it. I'll be fine alone. I always am. Or respect Clem and the establishment despite everything. Sure, fine. Let's do that. Spryness is increased to level 13. Of course, I respect you as I respect this establishment, even if I've been thoroughly put out here as of late. Quit your griping daily. It's unbecoming of a Minotaur. I've been robbed. I was cleared out. Crikey, you've a knack for getting into trouble. Do you at least know who ran off with your readies? It was Clara. After my night upstairs with Clara Reed, I woke up skinned. Every last farthing I won at the table is gone. I've no idea what it's about. Still behaving like some young pup in from the counties, then. I can't believe Miss Clara would have done it, though I've been wrong before. There's a reason gentlemen don't hang about here after hours. I'm certain it was Clara Reed who robbed me. The question is why. And what about this long-lost mother of yourn? Penny's put her job at risk asking around on your behalf. You're right, tracking down Matilda is more important than the money. You're getting quite handy at giving me a lecture. I hear they've a need for that at the university college. No, you're right, it's more important. Penny and I aim to help you if we can, but like I said, can't make any promises. I don't need a drink right now, let's say goodbye. Here's hoping I see you on better footing, Master Daly. Till next time. Okay, I suppose we're gonna head out. The masked stranger, I assume, is not lingering about here. Oh, Jemmy, you asshole. Molly's ward healer and debt collector is waiting for me with a vinegary look on his gob. Old Jemmy is a hardened bruiser. I hope for my sake he's not here about my debt to Molly. The bar is empty except for the brick wall of Minotaur in the doorway. One hand on his weapon, a meat cleaver fit for a giant's chopping block. Get it over with, or you don't have the money to give him. Get it over with. Best get this over with. I wouldn't make it as far as the street if I tried to run. For Christ's sake, are you done gawking at me yet? Mistress Molly sent me to offer you a favor. She has generously arranged for you to work off some of your outstanding debt. Look at the size of this bloodthirsty brute. Somehow I always forget just how intimidating old Jemmy is. Insult Molly, make an excuse, confident, hold your head high, explain that you were robbed. 1 second. Okay, do we try charlatan? Let's try. I am presently taking a vacation from the dockhounds. I found the work didn't suit me. That so? How about I arrange a vacation from you walking on 2 legs? Permanent vacation, of course, all inclusive. Okay, let's explain that we were robbed. Believe me, I was ready to pay my debts in full, but now it seems that I've seen my slice of luck. I was robbed last night at the Velvet Rose. The brutal hireling takes a short breath in imitation of surprise. However, I have no doubt someone with your connections could find the brigand, and then we'd all be square. Listen me, Cully. I'll clear this up for you, alright? For you right now. Clara Reed is the thief in question. She's a dolly, isn't she? She's after one thing only. Consider last night a reminder of that. I don't believe it. Very well, since you haven't cut me in half yet, I assume you're going to tell me how I can make this right. I don't believe it. Yes, you do. You're not that daft. Or you never would have lived this long. Lucky for you, I happened to bump into Miss Reed, and she was only too glad to hand over your dosh. The winnings were merely yours to begin with. Were never yours to begin with. Molly arranged the whole thing. So what's the problem? It sounds to me like you still got your money. So Molly and I are at quits. You think so, you mug? I told you Molly arranged the whole thing. She put Lefty Brown at your table. The famous card shop. I should have known, but I was too drunk on winning and gin. Money or no, she did you a favor, so why don't you see what you can do for her in return? Blast. Molly always gets her money's worth, one way or another. We could say nothing, or very well, since you haven't cut me in half yet, I assume you're going to tell me how I can make this right. Let's at least try to find out what it's about. First smart thing you've said today. Go talk to Molly at the tavern, and I suggest you clean the wax out of your ears first. She wants to give you this assignment personally. Settle our debts, okay. Journal. Okay, always bet on gin. Maybe we can find that out as well. Okay. We should visit Nandy's shop and the tavern and find a secret keeper, whoever that would be. Once I head out there, I should go straight for the tavern. Won't be around this way again for a while. Okay, let's go. Is it going to take us straight to the tavern, or... Oh, experience is simply the name we give our mistakes. Oscar Wilde. That was a short chapter, okay. Clara Reed again. Your performance at the Palladium was interrupted by Atticus Daly, a Minotaur who was in his cups as well as in his chips. After a heart-to-heart in the Velvet Rose, you relieved him of his winnings, only to lose the money after getting bushwhacked by Molly's chief goon, Jemmy. Just before dawn, Ives gave you his take on the killer's latest victim. Mahogany and gold trim. Oh, right, I think we've read that before. That's just the bell jar, or specifically our room. Nothing like a good rest after a night of disappointment. The courtesan killer updated. Miss Charlemagne Duval's promised missive seems to have arrived. Did Zuri slip the letter beneath my door? Or perhaps one of Ives' mystery colleagues is to blame? No point putting it off, I suppose. Miss Clara Reed, please hasten to the Velvet Rose at your first earliest convenience. It is with deepest regrets and condolences that I must inform you of the passing of one Ariana Luttrell sometime after midnight last evening. Signs indicate that the death is connected to the work of the courtesan killer. Respectfully, I would urge you to consider what we spoke of last night. My employers greatly desire your presence at the Rose, as well as your assistance inspecting the body. Please do not delay. My sympathies for the loss of your peer, yours, Ives Charlemagne Duval. The passing of Ariana Luttrell? Weary or better, Ariana, God's wounds. I spoke to her just last evening. No, weary or better, also weary or better, okay. I suppose it was inevitable that this butcher would venture close to home eventually. I guess the second one? Whatever. But nonetheless, oh, Ariana, saints above, I'm so sorry. The frigid bastards. I suppose I should be getting on with it then. I've little other choice. I need no reminder of my situation. I'll make my way to the Rose. Okay, sorry. Completely misread the sentence structure there. I'll make my way to the Rose then. I'm embroiled in this, whether I like it or not. Okay. Go to the lobby. Let's see then. There we are. What's Iron Bear doing here? It's rare to see him without Tenor nearby. Let's greet him. Iron Bear, good morning. What brings you here today? I thought Tenor didn't require my services until this evening. That is correct. However, with the events of the night previous, Cunningham thought my services as a bodyguard might be more useful elsewhere. Egad, has word spread so quickly? It's London, of course it has. Tenor can be overbearing. I'm lucky this is all he did. Convince Iron Bear you don't need a minder. 44% chance, 9 or better, let's see. Well, there it is. Couldn't be a recording session without minus 100. While I appreciate your concern, I must stress that the events of last night shall not be repeated. Please convey my greetings to Tenor and assure him that I will see him this evening. It is good to see you are well, Miss Reed, but you are not my employer. Oh dear, he doesn't sound happy. I seem to have offended him. Or he's less than pleased with Tenor's orders himself. No way to know, but I must be able to conduct my own affairs. Did Tenor require that you remain glued to my side? He failed to specify. Well, in that case, I have things I must do today, and I'm certain you do as well. Cunningham is concerned for your well-being. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he included himself in that. Let's suggest a compromise. Look, since I'm sure you have better things to do than follow me around, what if we agreed to meet later at the tavern? I believe that could be arranged. Thank you, Iron Bear, truly. Good day, Miss Reed. My kingdom for some respite from all this. Okay.